A new Apple TV is rumored to be coming out in just a couple of months. So let's go ahead and talk about all the leaks and rumors that we know so far what this next generation version of the Apple TV is going to have. So as always, timestamps of everything will be in a video description down below for your pleasure. This way you're prepared and you are aware if it's worth buying the current Apple TV or wait just 2 months longer to get the next generation, as it could be much cheaper. Let's begin with the processor. Now the current Apple TV is using the A15 Bionic chip, which is said to be 30% faster than for this third generation Apple TV 4K. And according to many journalists from 9to5Mac, Mac Rumors, they're all suggesting that an A series chip will be used on the next generation Apple TV. There's rumors that people have been saying that it might be released with the A17 Pro chip or the A18. My money is in the A17 Pro chip, as this will allow faster load times than previous generation and support for more high quality video support for when it comes to like Apple TV gaming, as this will easily accelerate ray tracing to be a lot better, look better on the screen for an enhanced gaming rendering experience. But regardless on which chip Apple decides to use with these latest generation A series chipset like the A17 Pro or even the A18, these two are known to be fully compatible to be used with Apple Intelligence, which means there is a slight chance we may see Apple Intelligence get added on the latest generation Apple TV. But for me personally, I never really personally used Apple Intelligence even on my smartphone. It's great and all, but on the Apple TV side of things, I don't really see a massive benefits onto this unit, as Siri was pretty much more than capable to do any Apple TV requests you requested to do, such as skip like 45 seconds or 35 seconds. You can actually go precise on a time frame and it will actually do it. Search up your favorite artists, celebrities, playlists, songs. So long as you have Apple like Music subscription, it's able to do all that. I guess the main benefits to having Apple Intelligence on the Apple TV would be the fact you could talk to it like a normal human being. Hopefully it allows the Apple TV to do smart home things though. I can definitely see that being the massive selling point, especially if it has the capability to send you like directions to your smartphone as an example, or make quick replies on incoming calls or text messages all off your smart screen, or your smart television. So I guess that's a good selling point, but only time can tell, because I'm kind of skeptical when it comes to Apple Intelligence in general. Ever since the first announcement and release on iOS 18, I personally, I'm sure many others, we have not been really like impressed with Apple Intelligence. So only time can tell, I guess. And then since we have our hands on tvOS 26, again, there's no massive support of Apple Intelligence being beneficial to the Apple TV. So I guess, again, only time can tell. But what will be a massive improvement is the internal Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, as this next generation Apple TV is rumored to be equipped with improved Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth. We'll be able to support 6 GHz of Wi-Fi band speeds, which is all thanks to the selection that Apple plans on releasing the next generation Apple TV with Wi-Fi 6E. Unfortunately, not Wi-Fi 7, but this is going to be pretty unique due to the fact that it's going to be a one-off custom-made chip for the Apple TV from Apple, which will improve the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth connectivity, as this newer version Apple TV will support Bluetooth 5.3, which means stronger connection for not just your remotes, but mainly a faster, low latency connection speed when it comes to like gaming, if you have it paired to like a gaming console controller, which I think is kind of cool. But again, these are all rumors. This was primarily sourced from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who has stated that Wi-Fi 6E is coming to the Apple TV. But again, unfortunately, no Wi-Fi 7. Nonetheless, a good enhancement overall from the previous generation Apple TV. Now, overall design, there hasn't been much about Apple redesigning the Apple TV at all. It's going to continue most likely having the same signature design that we all know and love and have seen on the past generation Apple TVs. Maybe a slimmer design, but this design looks to be the same design that will be used on this newer generation Apple TV, which I think is pretty good. It blends into the background most of the time on any modern day TV setup. And it's small enough you could like tuck it behind something if you like to hide it and still have a strong connection to the controller, when needed. So with that said, there hasn't been any updates or rumors suggesting that new I/O ports will be added in the rear. So everything will remain the same. So you'll have a Ethernet port, power, and an HDMI. But there is a potential price adjustment, as Ming-Chi Kuo, another Apple leaker, has been reporting that Apple has been working hard to lower the price tag of this next generation Apple TV low $100. The current Apple TV, I believe, is $120, roughly around that ballpark. But since it's been out in the market for quite some time now, let me look it up. You can find the Apple TV still selling for $129. Maybe it's a better deal at Costco, but no sales going on right now. So I guess that might be a good reason to wait. Now, the current Apple TV is known to be used as a smart hub, and I don't see this newer generation Apple TV being no different. So because of that, I'm sure we'll see better improvements thanks to the new connectivity, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, which will allow this new Apple TV hub to be more efficient when it comes to communicating with your supported Matter devices. But however, an interesting rumor that has been catching my attention is there's a potential chance that this next generation Apple TV will have a built-in camera. Not sure exactly how that's going to work, if it's going to be attached to a wire where you need to put it on top of your TV or somewhere nearby, but there has been some rumors that a built-in camera will be available for this next generation Apple TV. Now for me personally, I don't really see that as a massive selling point, because currently you are able to use your Apple TV for FaceTime calling. You just need to have it connected to an iPhone or an iPad as the main camera. But for me personally, whenever I have like family gatherings and stuff like that, we end up still using the iPhone. Maybe sometimes we'll occasionally grab a laptop for those large gatherings, but again, personally, I don't see this as a selling point. If you are somebody who uses the Apple TV for FaceTime calling, that is something interesting to definitely keep in mind in case you're thinking about upgrading. But with the combination of Apple Intelligence, I guess this is where I could definitely see the Apple TV shining, especially having that camera source, I guess. Not sure if it will be connected on the hardware itself or it will be like an external camera you just mount on top of your TV. Something tells me it might be like what the Switch 2 is doing. But nonetheless, a cool benefit to this is gesture controls. Maybe it will have like an Xbox Kinect experience, if you remember that, where you can just use hand gestures to like navigate between your screen, basically like using the force. I could see that being a beneficial to having the camera as well as Apple Intelligence running at the same time. It could also allow some impressive third-party games to finally be added onto the Apple TV, such as Dance Dance Revolution. I guess that's another cool benefit there. Gesture controls may be coming to the Apple TV. So should you buy the current Apple TV or wait a little bit longer? But again, if you're patient, if you can wait just about 2 months longer, September, usually around the fall time when Apple has their keynote, when the next generation iPhones come out, their Apple Watches, this typically does seem like it will be the time frame Apple will unveil the next version of their Apple TV. So I would recommend waiting if you can, especially if there's a chance we may finally see a $100 Apple TV. This model could be the one without the camera, and then there'll be the standard price one, which is like $149 or something like that. That should be the one that will include like the external camera, or maybe it might be internal camera, who knows. Again, now that we are on the last few months of the year, I would recommend waiting if you can, but even the current one, still not a bad deal, especially if you don't care about the camera control. You just want something to turn your regular TV into a smart TV, but also being very compatible in terms of the Apple ecosystem. But other than that, there you guys have it. That is the rundown of everything you need to know about this upcoming rumored Apple TV. Let me know in the comment section which one of these features is your personal favorite, which one are you most excited for, and if you'd like to see something get added, feel free to comment down below. I'm curious to see what kind of feature the Apple TV can have that will really change things up. I'm quite curious what you guys come up with. Other than that, if you wish to watch more, I highly recommend checking out this video over there where I highlight all the new changes and new features that got added on Apple CarPlay side of things on iOS 26. And the video underneath that one is all the new changes that's coming to the Apple Watch side of things as well. Thank you so much for watching.